Hey guys, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to the channel. Today, the day is finally here. I'm finally able to listen to ATEEZ's new album, the WORLD EP.2 OUTLAW. I am so excited. I was recording stuff before this, and I was like, I feel like I was just shaking because I'm so excited and just nervous at the same time. But I am just so pumped to finally listen to this because BOUNCY has been on repeat, and I am gonna need some more from this album on repeat. So I am excited. I am going to skip BOUNCY for this listen and stuff because we have heard it so many times. And I know the song and everything, but I do love that song. It's been on nonstop repeat, like I said. So I'm just excited how the rest of the album sounds. I did check out the trailer previews and stuff for the album. So I've heard a couple snippets, but I haven't re-listened to them since I uploaded that and stuff. So it's been a little bit. So I am excited. I did watch the One Night, 2 Days over on Patreon and everything, and they played some of the stuff in there and I had to mute it. So I tried my best not to hear anything. So we are going to do This World, which I do like that. I was just listening to the Movement album and stuff a little while ago, and I do like that. I think the last song on that is New World, and now we're starting with This World for this album. So it's kind of a new era, but still in the same kind of expansion from the last album, which you can tell from all the sounds and everything they're using through this, just from the snippets alone, that they're really incorporating so much of the last album in this. I can already tell, which I'm so excited for. But we have This World, Dune, BOUNCY, but we're not going to do that one. Django, Wake Up, and Outlaw. So I am pretty sure Dune and Django are the two that I was most excited for. I loved everything that I heard from all of them, but those two stuck out the most to me. So I'm excited to see the full songs because I know they always do their switch up things. So I'm excited to see how they structure this album and the songs and everything. I don't think we're gonna get a slow song on here, a more emotional one that has me crying. So thankfully for that, because I just need to be amped up and everything. I think Dune was the one with Mingi and Hongjoong, especially with the rapping and stuff, that I'm so excited for. And then Django, I just loved the melody of it, especially. So we're gonna get right into this. Disclaimer, I am going to pause. I'm going to talk. So if you are new here, that is what we do over here. So if you don't like that and everything, this is not the video for you. Totally fine. Just letting you know ahead of time. I do like to talk about the actual, just the music and the instrumentals especially. And I do my best to look at lyrics. We are using lyric videos. I know they're never 100% accurate, but I do have an amazing human being that put the new songs in this playlist and stuff that I've been using this whole time for everything I've reacted to for ATEEZ. So we're going to be using those ones. So I know translations are not going to be totally, but just to get a gist, and also just seeing who's singing what parts and stuff. And I feel by now I know most of their voices, but in the trailers and stuff, I think there's a couple that I mixed up. So I'm just really excited to see what everybody does with their voices and kind of changes up and everything in this album. But yeah, I'm just really excited. So I did get a couple albums and stuff when I went to the Hello 82 pop-up, and I also ordered a couple of the signed ones and stuff. I was fortunate enough, you guys let me know that they were back in stock, and I managed to get a couple. And then I also ordered something a while ago, but it's finally just now coming, and I think all of it should be here within the next few days. So I'm gonna hold off on doing album unboxings and stuff and do a whole video for that. So I'm excited for that because I haven't really done anything like that. Let me know if you guys want to see that kind of stuff and everything. I'm never really sure if you guys are interested in that or not, or I'll just open them myself and just show what you got, I got and everything. But yeah, I am excited to check out those. But the pulls that I got too, let me tell you, I got some great ones. So I'm excited to see the new ones and stuff that come in. But nonetheless, I always talk way too much before these, but I just want to preface everything, and I'm just so excited. So we're gonna get into this. We might be listening to some a couple times, so this is gonna be very long. I'm gonna preface that beforehand. The music video, I did not expect that video to be an hour long. So I appreciate anybody who watched that, even like a little bit of it. But that music video, man, was so good. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy listening with me and everything for this, and I hope to provide some input or entertainment or something. But yeah, I am just pumped to get to this, so we're gonna get right into it. So let's go. Okay, like I said, we're gonna start with This World. I don't know if there's like a reason because like the way that they released, like the order they released the track videos isn't what their track listing of the album is. I don't know if there's like a certain reason for that, or they just decided to do it like that. But yeah, anyways. But I also did look up the credits and stuff for the album, and it looks like the main kind of writers and producers and stuff that usually work with ATEEZ or like KQ and stuff worked on this album, which is kind of prefaced. But I did want to give credit because these albums are always great. So I feel like there are certain producing styles, especially with some of their songs, that I notice that I feel like a couple people and everything have a certain sound that they add into it. So I feel like it's a little easier to like see who's on what song and stuff, like producing wise and everything, which I really find interesting. Because I know it looks like the main writers and producers and stuff worked on every single song on here and stuff. So like Eden, Allender, Buddy, Maddox, which I know Maddox worked on a lot of stuff too, which I'm really excited about. Pepperoni, Olive, Hongjoong, Mingi, and Alexander Carlson. I don't know what else he's worked on. I'm sure. Definitely stuff that I've heard before. But it looks like he's on the credits for This World, and then I think BOUNCY too. And then I think it's Outlaw. I think Lisa's on too, which I feel like I can notice his producing style a little bit. Like I feel like there's just a certain sound that he adds into these, especially like electronic, like just kind of synthy wise and everything, that I just feel like is a different take a little bit. So I feel like I'm really excited to hear that one too. That's one of the ones that stood out to me. And I know that he's also a producer for Dreamcatcher, that I know everybody's been asking me and telling me to check out, because I feel like girl groups are a little bit of hit or miss and everything with me. So a lot of you guys have been recommending them, saying that I probably like their music. So I will be checking them out. I don't know when, but eventually. But yeah, long tangent. I'm sorry. I just wanted to put that out there. So we're finally going to get into this, and I'm excited. But yeah, let's go. See, just this sound. This is the same. Like that synth and stuff reminds me so much of the opening from the last album. I think it was Propaganda, right? But I just love how they always incorporate so much stuff from like the last albums and stuff, which is really nice. And I love that like creepy sound in the back. Okay, I remember that part. The way they started this song, I loved it, was how Son started, and then Wooyoung and Seonghwa. Like, those three, I feel like just, they pair so well together. I feel like I don't see, that could be like just me, like just not paying attention. But I feel like I love their voices like all together like that, because I feel like Seonghwa, just how Son started off the song, he has like that specific Son style of singing that I absolutely love, that quality in his voice. But then Wooyoung right after him, he just matched his tone so well, and I love those layered vocals in the back that are just that more airy, softer, just extra bit that they added. But then Seonghwa, I love, he did something different with his voice that matched more of what Son's and Wooyoung's tones was, which I really liked. Who was doing those backing vocals with him? Jongho with the freaking runs also. Ooh. Ooh, that was nice. Ooh. Okay, I'm loving the amount of time Son is getting on this song. Dude, Son. His voice, how he just changed it up right here too. I love when he brings in like this kind of tone too, alongside that breathy airiness and everything. He is such a dynamic singer. It's just so good. And this song, I love how it transitioned from Wooyoung into Son and everything. Them just back to back is just such a good pairing vocal wise. But the effect that Wooyoung had on his voice, that was just like that, just descent, swelling and everything that went into it was so nice. Ooh, I love that really dark element right there. Is that Wooyoung in the back? I love that. Is that Mingi in the back too? Dude, who's doing those vocals? I remember that from the trailer. Nah, that was... I love this instrumental behind Hongjoong and Mingi. That it has such like a kind of eerie feeling to it, and I love when they do that, especially with their music. Like gives me so much, like I said, of the last album, but also like Don't Stop and Paradigm and stuff. They use just more of that element, and I love it so much. It works so well with this. But their vocals, man, Seonghwa, he's doing freaking amazing on the song. But how they do it, like...
We're still in the dark. Do you feel alive? 느려지는 말 내가 날 느끼잖아. Now it's time to fight. Take back my life. 난 내가 되는 날 나를 마주해 this world. 희생과 절망, 욕망, 열정감, 분노의 고통, 타락과 불안.
I love those heavier, just but submerged drums at the same time. I love the layered vocals throughout this whole song. It gives it such like a amped up feeling. Dude, I really don't know who's doing the high note. I feel like it's Jongho, but I don't know if it's just his layered vocal, but it also kind of sounds... I don't know, it kind of sounds like Wooyoung, but I don't know, like... That high, though. I love that, like, just that swelling noise they always incorporate into it. It makes it so good. Man. Okay, what an opening. ATEEZ just always does such a great job, especially with albums. Just their intros and just the first songs in their albums always set the atmosphere for what the whole album is like to expect it to be, and just like brings you in. Like this, it was so smooth at the same time as being very hard-hitting and very dark at the same time, which I absolutely love. That's my favorite thing when ATEEZ does. Like, especially with Seonghwa's vocals and San and Wooyoung, just like right at the beginning and everything, it has such a just smoothness to it. And then Jongho, his voice was so silky on here, especially during that part, like his main part and everything. I absolutely loved San. I love how he switched up his voice during the second part. That song was just such a good introduction. I loved the instrumental. It was so... They played with the beat so much, which I always love. But that was so good. I feel like I did not pay attention to the lyrics as much, so I'm going to try my best. That was so good, man. I'm so excited to listen to the rest of these songs. But we are going to get right into Dune, which I'm pretty sure this is the one with Mingi and Hongjoong, which I am really excited for. This is one of the ones that I was like, was probably my top. This and Django are probably my top two that I was really excited to hear. So, plus these pictures up top, let me just say, the stylists, the team behind them, the photographer, the editors, just everybody's been killing it this comeback. Like, and I am so happy about it. Like, everybody's been killing it. But we are gonna get right into this, so let's go. Hey. Ooh, I love that. First, I love the holla holla bit too. Wooyoung. The way that he says that, you know. Dude, these layered vocals, the backing vocals, just the silkiness and very airiness that they have to them, just it makes the song like so good. I absolutely love it. Just like goosebumps. What the hell? Yeosang! Okay. Sun. Yeosang! I'm so sorry. Seonghwa's rapping, yes. Wooyoung on the rapping side, yes. Yes. Sun. These are some of my favorite vocals that I have heard from him. And that's saying a lot. Wow. Because I remember watching the preview for this and I wasn't sure who was doing that part, if it was Sun or Seonghwa. Oh my god. What? And then Yeosang. Wow. His voice. It was so low. I love the switch up they literally used his voice for. Like, it was so... I love that backing. That hard hit behind his very silkiness voice. Oh my god! Please tell me they're gonna do a live performance of this. That beat and Jongho's voice, those hi-hats and stuff give it such a kind of like R&B hip-hop feel over this kind of style. I love this. I remember this part. Hey. Nah, because I'm gonna make a bold statement. That is one of my favorite Hongjoong verses. Just that flow, man. That was so good, especially after Mingi. I love that backing instrumental. Dude. That pause. Dude, this man's voice is like going throughout my whole body with these headphones. Oh my god. But like, Yunho, I was waiting for him to come in. It did not come in like I thought it was going to, but I am happy about it. Like, what is this song? It's so good, but so different. I feel like to like whatever anything I've heard from them. This like more anthem chanty kind of feel. It was so good, like to have, especially with Yunho's voice, because it offsets Yeosang so much. Like they pair so well together, but it makes it so it's not just him doing that, like kind of element to their voices. But the way they switch up, and you get that backing chant too. His voice is such a good contrast between Mingi too. Nah. So we're gonna listen to this again. This song, man. First, like, okay. First, the composition of the song. I love where everybody was placed in this song. I absolutely loved. First, San. Yes, this sound from him was perfect. It showcased so much of his range in literally just like 2 lines. I love that. It was so, he had that darker, just like that deeper tone and stuff too that he sang in. And then he literally just went right into that high, like, just slide and everything. And then transitioning. It was so good. Like, I loved him on this song. Yeosang, man, yes. Yes. He pretty much dominated this song for me. That transition. Like, I feel like Yeosang specifically, I feel like they always, I won't say always, most of the time, they usually put more of an effect on his voice, like especially like emphasizing the deeper tone of his voice and everything. And sometimes I either want them to lean into it even more or hold it back a little bit. But I love how they used his voice in this song. They like made it such a forefront, just like, it wasn't even like a transition or anything. It was just very just forwardly like put out there after. And it was such a good choice. Like, it sounded so good. Jongho, man, this man's vocals are insane. Like, I don't understand. I loved his part. Was probably one of my favorite parts of the song too. I love the just the melody and rhythm and stuff that he was going to, and the percussion behind it was so good. They all did such a great job with this. So we're gonna listen to this again. Tell me if anybody else hears it, because when this first came in, I was thinking, what is that song? It's the Black Widow song. I think, is it Iggy Azalea and someone else? I think Rita Ora, I think. But that song, I was getting that instrumental. Not like the actual song, but like the instrumental of that especially reminds me a lot of that, with that lower bass and percussion and stuff, but also with that kind of higher electronic noise and stuff throughout this. I absolutely loved like the instrumental of this, man. I need to say how much I love the backing vocals throughout these songs so far. Ooh, I love that little doo-doo-doo. See, they bring in that it's very subtle in the back. That very low bass that they bring in is so good. But then they bring in more of that percussion and like the hi-hats and stuff too, that give it such that it's still this darker electronic kind of sound, but it's like slightly a little bit like R&B kind of mixed in too, especially during Jungho's part, which I absolutely love. Like, I love that rhythm switch up, man. Hey. That like very distorted low guitar and like electric guitar and everything is so good. Okay, first, this is maybe a very like out there comment, but I feel like the lyrics of this, especially during Hongjoong's part and now this and stuff, reminds me a lot of Not Too Late. Like, very different styles, like instrumental wise and like stuff, but like I have been listening to that song nonstop because I've just been like trying to do a cover thing for it and everything, but like the lyrics and stuff remind me so much of that. Like, just asking for a hand and to save them. And just like that light and everything that you're hoping for and that you can't find. I'll never get over that vocal. I don't know, man. That might be my favorite part of the song. This gives me very much like Answer kind of vibes too, just very in a darker element. Dude. The dragging vocals in the back. That's gonna be a favorite on the album. Like, I'm telling you right now. Okay. I feel like I just spent so much time on that song, but there's so much going on with that song, especially just the instrumental. There's so much going on, especially when they transitioned into separate members' parts and stuff, but it worked so well together and just like had such a anthem feel to it. Like, it even gave me like Answer vibes in some parts, especially Yunho with that chanting, but it was much like very harder and darker than Answers was and stuff, but it definitely gave me that vibe. That was so good. Like, Jungho's part, San's part, Yeosang's part, the way that Hongjoong and Mingi were rapping, like, it was so good. Like, I absolutely loved every part of that song. Like, the vocals, man. In a song where it's so high energy and hard and everything like that, to incorporate just those beautiful vocals at the same time is just what they are best at. And I absolutely love it. Like, I love that song so much. It's going to be a top for me. But like I said, we are skipping BOUNCY, so that would be the next one on the album and going straight to DJANGO. This is the one I was most excited for. So this being after Dune, the two I was excited for and everything right after each other is probably going to be an issue. But I am really excited for this one. The sound of this I absolutely loved from the preview. So we're going to get right into this. I am excited. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. So let's go. Ooh! Jongho! Is that Wooyoung in the back? Ooh, I love, dude. Yes, 26 seconds in. Yes. The beat of this is, I love. Okay, first, them telling me that they can show me stuff, and now asking me to show them stuff. Hey, Seonghwa. Okay, I was saying Jongho, okay. Dude. This man's not giggling at me. Okay. This song. I love the beat of this song so much already. Like, dude, Seonghwa, yes, I love when he does more of like the rapping style, but also has more of that melodic kind of singing style to that. Jongho, always vocals, yes, but San, the way that he comes in for that chorus, man, that was my favorite part of the actual like teaser for it and everything. And Wooyoung, man, yes. Hey. This is very hip hop. I love that. It's like one of my favorite parts already. Like, and then Wooyoung's voice, how he's over it too at a different beat. Yeah, that's my favorite on the album. Man, that was almost 4 minutes long. Well, with like the end things and stuff, probably like 3.5 minutes. That felt like it was like 2 minutes long. Like, that went by way too fast. I loved that song. The beat especially, I absolutely loved it. They incorporated like such like an old school hip hop kind of feel, like that I loved. And their voices over it, I loved that pre-chorus and everything, especially with Seonghwa and Wooyoung and Yeosang. The rapping, Mingi and Hongjoong killed this song with the rapping and stuff. I love how easily they flowed with everybody else. Wooyoung was a standout. I love his voice and how much it was used throughout this, especially with his, just that Wooyoung tone, man. It's so good. Yunho at the ending, like the bridge and stuff, that change up and stuff was so good. It was reminiscent to the other one when he did more of that chanting and stuff, but more of the instrumental cut out in this part, and it was more of his voice forward. Jongho, yes, all the time, just everything he touches just is always great. But this song, I loved the melodies throughout it, the actual instrumental and everything, just that it was so good. Like, I love this song. Listen to this again. This instrumental, it reminds me, like, it's not like totally and stuff, but the starting of Light, like their B-side and everything, which is my favorite B-side from them, probably. It reminds me of like the beginning of that. Like I love it's like I don't know very like a lot of technical terms and stuff, but it's like I always call it that like Wooyoung sound. But they have it in here like at the beginning too that gives it such like a cooler feeling to the electronic kind of style that they're doing. And it's Seonghwa's voice over this is perfect. He has the same like slightly pitched up voice that he does in BOUNCY, but it's not as intense. And I really love how they work that for this song. Hey, I love Jungko's tone on that part, man. He adds like a little bit of a silkiness to it. Pretty sure that's... I feel like it could be Sun or Wooyoung doing that, like the backing vocals and stuff, because they do have more of that forward like airiness in their voices and stuff. But I love how that sounds. I love how much they're playing with backing vocals and layered vocals and stuff throughout this whole album so far. It is so good and just like makes every song feel just on an even just like bigger level and stuff, just like fuller and everything. I love it. This part, you get that. But then you get that bell sound and stuff too for that split second. And Wooyoung's voice over this is so good. Man. I love how Wooyoung sounded on that part, man. Hey. I love that. Then you get the snares and stuff over it too. But then you get that kind of like you get that alarm sound and stuff in there, but then that backing instrumental changes a little bit in the back. It's really nice over Mingi. Hey, I love that descent with that. It's so good. Ooh, it goes in. I'm so sorry I'm pausing and rewinding so much, but there's so much going on that I want to talk about. It's so good. The layering of this song. The way that that descent behind Hongjoong's voice and stuff, they lower the pitch and everything each time that it goes, which is really nice. Like this rapping style, I love. And this build up too right here, It still makes a drop, but it continues. I love this part. That effect he has over his already, like, I said before, Wooyoung has such a special quality to his voice. It is so forward, but very just airy at the same time. It just has that special quality to it, man. And I just love how they're pretty much amplifying that in this, like, especially compared to how Sun was singing too. Those backing vocals. Ooh, what is... Mingi does this rhythm in something else, and I need to know what it is. I love how in this part too they add in more of the auto-tune kind of sounds and stuff. Man, this was it for me. Like, I love this song. Yeah, like I said, that is probably my favorite on the album so far. I love the beat in that song, the instrumental, their voices over it. Dude, Wooyoung, his voice on that song was so good. I love how much he stood out. San, the way that it always transitions into his voice specifically, and I love how much they're using him for more of the chorus bits and everything, just grabs your attention and just like, it's so good. Like, it makes you pay attention so well. Seonghwa, I love the back and forth he did with Wooyoung especially, but Seonghwa, I just love how versatile he is, like, especially when he does more of that rapping too. He has just like great vocals and more in that deeper tone, but I love when he does more of this kind of singing rap and stuff. He goes more into that higher pitched voice because it really just matches and really just blends into every song really well. You know, I love how he sounded on this too. I like how he's having more of just kind of talking bits, like very, not necessarily talking and everything. It's more like speech, but also singing and everything too. But I love how much it's forefront and the instrumental trying to takes like a backseat or just like totally cuts out and lets his full voice just like take control of it and everything until they go back into the chorus and stuff. I love that. But dude, Mingi and Hongjoong, their raps and stuff on this song specifically were so good. I loved the rhythm that they were doing, and they incorporated, like I said, that like old school, just more like just hip hop kind of feel, like rap, like older school rapping and stuff, like feel, especially with the instrumental and everything, and just the rhythm they were doing against that. I loved it so much. But I love too how I will like read the lyrics and stuff more on my own and everything too afterwards. Like to see more of the direct translation and stuff through like not lyric videos and everything, but like the total gist that I'm getting so far is just them just like taking control and taking over everything and stuff, and just like finally like taking control of the whole situation and everything that was happening like in the first album and everything. But man, I'm loving this album so far. It is so, I feel like so just heavy, but still just fun and jamming and everything too at the same time. But we're gonna get into Wake Up, which is the second to last one. So let's go. Dude, Seonghwa, see what I mean? But why are these three the three that are standing out so much on this album to me? Seonghwa, San, and Wooyoung, man. And I love how they start this song, because they started the first one too. Ooh. Hey. Ooh, that had a very like rock feel to it, especially that the drums right there. Ooh, man. He's still going. Okay. Whoa. This song, first, this man needs to stop giggling at me, like now. But the rock in this song, like this brings in so much of like gorilla and that kind of style, like much more on the harder side and everything. Like the way that just percussion and stuff picked up so fast and everything, and then they brought in like the guitars and stuff, just like, man. Like, and Wooyoung, I swear to God, he's sticking out so much on this album. Like, I love it. But dude, the backing vocals. Like this gives me very much of the end of Gorilla vibe. Okay, rap god Hongjoong. Like, what was that flow? Oh my god. Like, hey. With that hard, like, electric instrumental. Nah. Hey. That percussion. Dude, San was such a good choice to have after Hongjoong. Man. And I love at that part too, like, especially after this, when Seonghwa comes in, you get that slight kind of just drum hit that you think would lead into more of like an instrumental that reminds me of like Good Little Boy, like that kind of style, but it totally cuts out for Yunho right here. You get that, and then you get that harsh, like, just, man. I love Son's voice right here. Especially with how fast Hongjoong's going, it slows it down. And you get that very fast build up, but it's so far back. I love that drum, man. Dude, Jongho. I love those harmonies in the back. Ooh, I love how forward Son's voice is. I'm pretty sure it's Son. Or Seonghwa. Whenever they go in that tone and stuff, I've noticed Seonghwa sounds a lot like Son lately. Like, especially when he goes into more of that lighter tone, but also that grittiness that Son throws in too. But I love how much they're playing with the end of their songs. I think in the last 3 songs and stuff too, like, they're ending on such like a more chanting and everything too, like all of them together and stuff, which really just brings up the energy in every single song and just makes it so full, which I really like that they're doing that like throughout, like consistently and everything too. I love how too, especially like in the World album and everything, like the movement and stuff, it is like trying to wake you up from the trance and everything that is like throughout, especially like the storyline and everything, just waking you up from the trance and just like into this new world and everything. And I love how much they're continuing that in here and just like trying to wake, like literally like wake them up and everything, like hearing their voice and just like leaning into it. I love that mechanical sound in the back too, and Hongjoong's not gonna whisper at me right now. Man, this album, I know why it's charting for a reason. Like, it's so good. Dude, ATEEZ, I have liked every single song, which is obviously nothing new with ATEEZ, but like, and I'll talk more about it like afterwards, like after I listen to the last one and stuff. But man, I love just how cohesive this album sounds. It has, I feel like every single song has such a similar feel, but they add in so, just like such little things and everything that differentiate every song and just make it its own. But everything just works so well together, especially if you're listening to it like track listing wise and everything. Just it flows so well, which is so nice, which they always do a great job with that. But man, I love how just everything has been sounding. Like, I feel like it has such a different element, but also incorporates stuff from like the movement and everything, but also just has that ATEEZ feel, especially with that just like slightly mechanic feeling they always incorporate to all of their songs. Like for a majority of their songs, that just like that ATEEZ sound. It's just so, even if it's like way far in the background and just like very slight, they always incorporate it, and it's just so nice because it's just such a nice touch within every song. But Hongjoong, first of all, what the hell was that? I think that's one of the like times I've heard him like rap the fastest, like that I've heard. I feel like there's another song too that I've heard that he does like a similar, but like, man, he killed that. And then Mingi right after, I loved just how everyone sounded. Man, like I feel like I'm gonna say that over and over again. Like I love how everybody's sticking out on these albums. Like, man, that was so good. But we are gonna get into the last one, which I never feel like these are very long. Like I'm taking forever to actually get through a song, but I have been recording for almost an hour and a half, and it does not feel like that. So I am so sorry. I will try to edit down as much as possible, and try not to talk too much. I feel like I promise I don't talk this much in person. Like I don't talk at all. So I guess I just save it for these because I can talk all day about ATEEZ. But the last one is Outlaw. This is one of the ones I was also very excited for. I'm pretty sure it's the one with Wooyoung and San. And I remember that's the first like teaser clip I heard. And I was like, this album is going to have such a unique sound and it sounds so great. So I'm surprised. Like I said, I don't know if there's a certain reason that they like released the track videos a different order than the actual track listing of the album. I don't know. But I remember specifically just like the pre-chorus to this. I'm pretty sure it was like in the song and everything, it would be the pre-chorus of it. But their vocals and the effect that they had on them, I am so excited to see how this full song sounds. Ooh. Not the backing layered Mingi vocals. Dude, I have to say, throughout every single song, I love the beat that they're using. Like, this specifically is one of my favorite just instrumentals in any of these songs. Like, dude, Yeosang's voice. Those popping noises. Hey.
Give me that, give me hit.
Okay, I feel like I may have spoke too soon because now I think this might be my favorite. Wow. Dude, ATEEZ just makes me just like not know how to just comprehend my thoughts and say them. Like, I feel like, I don't know. The beat of this song, the way, first I remember like that build up and everything from the actual teaser, but the way that it continues with Son's voice and the rhythm that they go into, especially with Wooyoung and Yunho, I love, this song so far is probably my favorite use of Yeosang's voice on here. I know the other one too I really liked, which I do, but like I feel like this is more of the natural lower tone that he's using, which I really like. So man, the way that this comes in with Mingi, this deep ass instrumental, these, I'm telling you, the backing vocals, whoever, man, if there's, I don't know if there's like specific people that do, because I know like there's the composers and like arrangement and producing and mixing and like everything. I don't know if there's a certain individual whose ideas it was to have literally these backing vocals like so forward and prominent through every single song on this album. I love it. These are probably my favorite uses of like just the layering and like the vocals and everything, man. They're so good and complement each person so well. Like that screeching too, I love. Like right here. I love how they're doing that. They're like swelling the vocals out and then bringing them back in after. I love the sirens and everything too. But songs like this, I keep playing in my car and I always think cops are around. Like I was driving this morning and I was playing one of their songs. I think it was Bouncy, and they have sirens and stuff in that too. And I'm just like, leave it to ATEEZ. Just think I'm getting pulled over every day. I love how that snare and stuff comes in too. That high pitch with the bubbles like popping sound too. Hey. I love, dude, Hongjoong is killing these flows on here.
Give me that, give me hit it back, run it back. I'm a better way, never better play. It's a bang, do the good shot. It's a power time. Such a gimmick side, you win the goal. On my way, don't move, I can't only get scared. 어둠 속에서 긴장하지 마. 거칠어지는 눈빛, 뜨거워져 내 몸이 잊어버릴 것 같아.
I love those vocals too. Ooh. I'm not lying when I say that is probably one of my favorite transitions in any of their songs that I have heard. The way I love how they follow through and continue with that melody, but bring in just that the instrumental gets a little bit more forefront, like compared to their vocals and stuff than like what it was, but it stays the same rhythm, which I love. With Son and Seonghwa, that is my favorite. Like, I love this. Like the instrumental is so. I love the popping. See what I mean? I love how they end like this. Hey, what does that remind me of? So, we know this again. Man. I don't want to speak too soon. This is my favorite. I'm gonna say it. This is my favorite on the album. This and Django. This might have just topped it though. Like, man.
I got that.
Like,
I got that. 타오르는 경고 소리. 도망가 아침을 내는 늑대들이 여기 흔들어져 끼고 맘이 헐키고 설키고 뒤져박죽 난리 났어.
I love that. They do that rhythm so well. Just like cut it out a little bit. These? I can't handle two Hongjoongs or Mingis. I love how this transitions. I think that's why it's my favorite on the album so far. Like, as a whole, like on first listen or second listen and everything. The transitions. I feel like the transitions in the song are some of my favorite throughout any of their music, which, if you've been here before, you know I love. Like, ATEEZ is my top group with transitioning their music, especially from verses to choruses and vice versa. But this song does such a fantastic job at that I feel like that is like one of the main reasons for it, like, just sticking out so much to me, man. Like, the instrumental is so good. Like, I can't get over how good that is. They do the same thing too right here that they did with from Hongjoong to San, and they do it with Yeosang to Wooyoung too, but it's not as intense because I feel like they're singing a little bit closer to rather than when San transitioned from Hongjoong, because it was more of that rapping into that singing part and everything. But they do it like the same kind of style. I love this. Like, that rhythm is, the melody is so good. Right? Man.
Give me that, give me hit it bang, run it back. I'm a better way, never better play. Get so bang, do the gunshot. It's a time. Such a gimmick side, even with the
Oh my god, that reminds me so much of something else. It's literally on the tip of my tongue. Ooh, that's what it is. Taeyoung. Freaking from NCT. One of my other alts, man. Him and Hongjoong. But like, that's what it reminds me of. The way that he is rapping right now. This like...
Give me that, give me hit it bang, run it back. I'm a better way, never better play. Get so bang, do the gunshot. Such a gimmick side, even with the go.
It reminds me so much of him. That's what I was thinking of. His song, the one he just came out with, Shalala. It reminds me so much of that. In a good way. I absolutely love that. I really need to read these lyrics more. But I can't. There's so much going on with everything else.
Give me that, give me hit it bang, run it back. I'm a better way, never better play. Get so bang, do the gunshot. Such a gimmick side, even with the
I love that shrieking kind of leading into Mingi. Like that pause is so good. Wooyoung, man. Like, I can't tell you how much Wooyoung is standing out on this album to me. Like, I love his voice in all of these songs. Like, I feel like over such a heavy instrumental like this, with his specific tone, it just fits so well. And Seonghwa. Dude, and then you're gonna bring in piano? Like, yeah, of course it's my favorite, like, song. That part reminds me of Psychers, the Tricky House. I feel like that, like, definitely reminded me of it. That's really nice. Hey. The pauses. Like, they still have the pauses with their voices right here, but the instrumental is so full over it. That is my favorite. That is one of my favorite, like, high energy ATEEZ songs. Like, man, like, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't like picking favorites, but I feel like it kind of spoke for itself that that is my favorite song on here. That being said, every other song is a close second. Like, man, I know why this is charting and winning and getting every like recognition. Man, they did such a fantastic job with this. Like, they do it with all their albums. Like, we all know. Like, leave it to ATEEZ, just not make bad music. Like, I have not heard an ATEEZ song that I don't like. Like, 100% honestly. Like, I don't, like, even songs that I don't necessarily, like, listen to a lot, like, are still great songs that I love. So, man, ATEEZ is just one of those groups that will always just make great music no matter what, and have meaning to their music, which is literally like all you can ask from an artist. I loved this so much. Like, this song specifically, I feel like I've said it literally every single one. But Wooyoung, he stuck out so much to me. Like, in this and the whole album, I feel like he was like on the top of his game in this album specifically. I loved how much specifically time he got to shine and how they used his voice in these songs, especially with such high energy but dark and very like intense instrumentals and stuff. His voice just contrasts that, but also like overrides that a lot, and I love it because it brings it, like, I feel like I've said it before, him and like Yeosang and Yunho, I feel like are just the perfect just like combo of grounding a song and mixing everybody's vocals together so well. Because like there's so many members that have the deeper end of voices, but then you also get more of the higher end voices, and I feel like they are so good with mixing everybody's vocals so well together to make it just so smooth and effortless, even though they have so many switch ups in their songs, which I absolutely love. Man, Jongho. Okay, I'll finish talking about the song and then I'll go through every member because I just want to do a quick like overview of everybody so we're not here for like another 2 hours. This whole album was so well structured in every aspect, from the track listing to the instrumental, like how it transitioned within every song, just the way they placed everybody in every song, and just like the connective flow between everything, and just the cohesive concept throughout the whole album as a whole was so good. This is such a great continuation of the Movement album because it brought in the same kind of electronic, kind of heavy feeling, but it also incorporated so much of that just like synth but bass and that old school kind of feel, like slightly mixed in with it, which I absolutely loved. Just so good. But yeah, like this album is so well structured together. I absolutely love it. And I can tell why it's just getting so much hype. I love to see it. I love this so much. Every single song, like I said, had such a heavy electronic, mechanical kind of sound, but incorporated just little bits and just the different rhythm switch ups and everything just made it its own individualized song, but still all of them just connected so well together, which I absolutely love. Like, ATEEZ is, like, I need to say, they're my favorite when it comes to just overall, just the composition of their music, because it's so well thought out, like from the lyrics, the instrumentals, the voices, how everybody pairs together, and just, it's just so well just crafted together, which I absolutely loved. But first, Jongho with these damn vocals. The choruses, especially, that he is on, my favorite thing is when Jongho goes into that lower tone and stuff, but I also, just his beltiness that he has is so good and so distinct. Like, if you hear like him belting like that, you know it's Jongho. Like, I love it. That's literally like the first thing I noticed in the first video I ever checked out of ATEEZ. Mr. Belty voice. He's gonna come back again and again. But I love how he like when he's on a song and you use that voice, that just like very powerful, just beltiness and stuff, especially over a chorus, and those high notes in the freaking back, just like the prolonged, especially, like he just sticks out so much. But it just, like, I feel like you need him in a song just to like make it an ATEEZ song. I absolutely love just how he fits in this, and it's just so just like good. Like, I can never talk enough about how amazing Jungho's voice is. It's ridiculous. But especially, which one was it? And a couple of them, he added more of like a silkiness, like airiness to his voice, like leading into his words, which I really loved. Like, I love him in more of that, like, darker, like, velvety kind of tone and everything, too. Wooyoung. Man, Wooyoung. My problem of the century. Like, I don't know. First, the looks of everybody. Everybody's killing this freaking comeback. It's like everybody's era right now, which I absolutely love. But Wooyoung, his voice, I feel like stuck out on this album the most to me. I love, like I said, how much just he contrasts with the instrumental because it is so heavy and dark. But his voice is literally like the opposite of that. But it has such a... It's so forward and more of that nasally kind of sound, but he adds in like a silkiness to it at the same time, which just gives him such a unique characteristic to his voice. And I feel like it just stuck out on these so much, and I love the amount of time he got to shine and showcase that throughout these. But he was a highlight on multiple of these songs. Mingi. First, the music video. He killed everybody for 2 seconds. But I love... Mingi is... I feel like I've said it before. He is, in my opinion, the most unique rapper in the industry. I feel like he... Like, I always think of that clip where it was, like... I don't remember when it was, but it was him and San and, like, with the group and everything. They were talking about, like, how Mingi was saying that, like, they can find someone to replace him and stuff. And San was like, no, nobody can replace Mingi. Yes, nobody can replace Mingi. Mingi has such... It's such a raspiness, but it's a Mingi tone that you know it's him. And I feel like he is such a valuable just voice to have in the industry. And I feel like he is just one of the most unique, but especially the most unique rapper. Like, nobody sounds like Mingi. And I absolutely love it. And just the flow that he does, like, especially paired with Hongjoong, they're my favorite rap duo, like, ever. Like, seriously, they just work so well off of each other. And they have such different tones, but they complement each other so well, even though they are very different. But Hongjoong can go into that deeper tone that matches Mingi's, like, a little bit more. But I just love Mingi, especially over this song, how it started out with that heavy, just, like, bass and everything, too. Matches his voice and just his vocal style very well. But he did so well with this. San. You guys know how I feel about San. San is my favorite voice ever. I love him so much. Like, his voice is just incredible, and I love how they used it throughout this album, especially. They really showcased the diversity that he has throughout, that he can go to any register that he wants. Like, especially during frickin', what was it, Dune? The way that he started out with that lower register, which is my favorite thing in the world, that's my favorite tone from him. But he literally, like, slid his voice and progressed his voice into that higher pitch, like more closer to Jungho's voice, which is insane and just so... It's just so impressive. And I love how much they showcased his voice in here and just really played with his voice a lot in this throughout every song. But I love especially how he sounded on Outlaw and Dune and Django. Like, I love just how he sounds, just the way that they use his voice. It's just so good and so... like everybody in ATEEZ has such a unique voice, but they work so well together and just mix so well together, which I think just makes them just such a valuable group. But San killed it. Yeosang, I feel like, first, I just watched the cover from Yeosang. That man's vocals. Like, KQ, where is it? Where are the vocals? I need to hear him, like, dominate some songs because, man, his voice is insane and so beautiful. And I feel like he got around the same amount that he usually gets in these songs. I feel like definitely in certain songs he shined more in. But I feel like, I don't know, I want to hear him more in songs, but I feel like this, just talking about this album specifically and everything, I feel like the parts that he did get, like, forefront and everything, he was a standout. Like, the way that they just, like, used his voice, the effect they had on it, and just that deeper tone, like, through all of them, like, especially This World, like, that, the way that he came in was ridiculous. But I feel like Outlaw, this one, like, was probably my favorite way they used his voice. It had that natural, just, like, raw, deeper tone and stuff that he has to his voice specifically. But I feel like they really just accentuated that, and they didn't add too much like effect or anything to it. They really just let his, like, very just natural voice and stuff come out a little bit more, which I really loved. And I feel like Outlaw, he got a lot of lines of stuff too, especially, like, split with people, but he did so good. And I just can't praise him enough for his vocals, man. Because, like, they're fantastic. And I'm so glad, like, totally off topic, but I love that he released that cover because it really showcased those. And I want to hear him more. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I do. KQ, yes, please. More Yeosang in songs and everything. But I just love just how he stood out on this album specifically. Yunho, I feel like Yunho sounded different than I usually, like, or got different parts in this album than I usually hear him. I feel like he had a lot more, because, like, when I think of Yunho, I think of very R&B, just vocal, like, very smooth vocals and everything. But on here, he did a lot of, like, the speaking and talking and chanting, but, like, mixed with, like, his vocals and stuff, of course. But, like, I really like that because I really feel like we got to see a different kind of more forward, like, kind of in your face in a good way, kind of feeling from him, which I really liked. And Yunho is one of those just members that I feel like connects everybody so well, especially because he can go into that more falsetto and everything, but also just sit back into that very, like, regular or, like, deeper tone and everything. So it just mixes so well together. Hongjoong, I don't know what he's doing. The way that he was rapping on this album, I feel like was so, it was, like, slightly different than what I usually hear him do, but in the same sense, not. Because I feel like he definitely has a certain way of just, like, rapping, but he still switches it up very much. But, like, the way that he played with his voice a lot, especially, like, more that playful kind of side and everything, especially with the ad-libs and stuff during these songs, was so good. And that fast-ass rap. Like, I don't know what's going on, but, like, he killed it. And like I said, I love him paired with Mingi and stuff too, because it just makes the song just so just dynamic and everything. But he absolutely killed this. Seonghwa impressed me so much on this album. Especially, like, the way that he pairs, especially with San and Wooyoung, I feel like those three together are such a just great pairing. Like, their voices just complement each other so well, because they all, especially San and Wooyoung, I feel like they sing and not a completely similar tone or anything like that, but more in the same kind of like register, like wise and stuff. And then Seonghwa reminds me so much of Yunho, where he can, like, his voice is naturally deep, but he can also go into that higher pitched voice. And especially during Bouncy too, I feel like when he adds that grittiness to that higher pitched voice, he sounds similar to San, which I really love. But he still has that Seonghwa just like tone. You guys know what I mean? Like, Seonghwa has a specific tone, even when he talks, that I really love, and it just makes him so unique. But I love the mix of vocals and rapping we got from him, especially on this album. I feel like he did such a good job with just utilizing his voice very well between, especially when they did a lot of the pausing and stuff. He was one of the members that was on that beat and everything a lot of the time. And he really just showcased just how much he can do. And I love rapper Seonghwa. Like, I do. And I love vocalist Seonghwa. So, you know, when I get both, it's just great. But he really stuck out on this album too, specifically. They just all did great. And oh my god, I have been recording for 2 hours. What the hell? I did not plan to talk that much about them, but like, you know, they deserve it. So, you know, if this has to be long, it's just because, you know, I liked every song and I love them so much. So I am going to go because I don't know how many of you guys have lasted this long, but thank you so much if you did. I hope I don't know, contributed some bit of info or just had fun time listening with me and everything. And tell me what your favorite song was. Like I said, I don't want to rank them because, you know, the ones that I usually don't say are my favorite are the ones I replay the most. So we're going to put that totally out the window. But I do have to say, I think Outlaw would probably be my top right now. And then every other one would just be my second. But man, ATEEZ, leave it to ATEEZ and the team around ATEEZ. Just the amount of recognition that they freaking deserve. And I, like, words cannot express how proud I am of them right now and just so happy to be part of just, like, this fandom, man. I am so happy and just so proud of them and just so excited, especially just seeing this and just how well receptive it was and just so, just like, it's climbing the charts and everything and just how many records they're breaking and just, I love seeing them. Like, of course they deserve way more, like with the amount of like the effort and hard work and just everything they put into their music and pour their emotions into all of their stuff. They deserve literally everything. But I am just so happy to finally see them get more recognition that they deserve. And I hope it continues because they deserve it. So I am just so excited to there's so much stuff that I have to watch around this concept and just like come back and everything. So I will definitely be getting to all the variety stuff, all the interviews, all the live stages, because there's so many, which I want to watch their showcase. I know someone did send me a link and everything that I want to check out. And I know they did some of these songs, so I will check that out. I don't know if it's going to go on YouTube or Patreon, but I will be doing that. But they killed this, and I'm just so happy for them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so sorry that this is so long. I know a lot of you guys say you don't mind, but I always feel bad, and I never know if people actually watch. But yeah, like I said, definitely let me know. I've heard rumors about them filming something for another song. I don't know if that's true, but I would love that. And I need to see some live performances of these songs. So I'm excited for that. Excited for more covers. I'm so happy that they're doing that, like on their ATEEZ channel and stuff. I love that they're taking initiative and just making the stuff that they want to start making. And I feel like that really just opens the door to just more styles and just different concepts and stuff from them, especially like individual members doing their own covers, like everyone who's been killing it. Like all these covers have been absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for more. I can't wait for like subgroup stuff maybe. Like I would love that. But yeah, I just love them so much. And I love this album. They always do a great job with these. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.